Morning, everybody. Good morning. Today, we're going to talk about the mistakes you should not be making in business. The mistakes you should never make in business. And the main one is what? Not having a business plan. But I'm going to get deep dive this morning to you. Hello. I hope you are ready. Before I begin my day with all my work and my clients and things that I have to do, I wanted to come in here and let's have a conversation. Now, let's talk about what is a real business plan. I'm going to make sure that everything is connected. Okay. All right. What is a real business plan? Okay. There we go. I am live. Let me see. Let's talk about it. Okay. Yes. All right. There we go. I'm trying something new here. All right. All righty. All right. Now, hey! I have two simulcasting this morning. Now, let's talk about the biggest mistake that you ever will make in your ideas, in your business. A few of them. First of all, people, you're not building strategy. You're organizing your thoughts, first of all. You're organizing your thoughts. And with that being said, a template doesn't get you to all of these business components. It really doesn't. And a lot of you are out here getting a business plan template, having a business plan template and thinking that, hey, I'm going to write this business plan. But it's a little bit more involved than that. It really is. So, I just got some great news from one of my clients. They were working on some things. And that business plan that I created for them, it afforded them to get in the boardroom of where the decisions are being made. And it's not about you just throwing something together because you had an idea. It's about strategy. It's 100% strategy. Now, what does that strategy entails? A strategy entails a marketing piece. Who's going to be your customer? Who pays for what you want to do? How are you going to pay for it? Whether you're going to pay for it through the cash flow that's going to come into your business. And how are you going to grow it? How are you going to scale it? What systems are you going to use? Do you actually think that all of that is in your head, just sitting up there? Can you be really successful in doing that? Just all right there? You think everything, all those thoughts are going to be there and you're going to be successful in business? No, it's not going to work that way. And so using a template because you're using a template is not going to help you, because see, your business idea, it has different components to it. And it has, when I say different components to it, it has a uniqueness to it. It really does. It has okay, let's decline that. It has a uniqueness to it. And then with that uniqueness come those little checkpoints, those little bullet points, those little things that need to be, critiqued only for your business. And that's how we're going to have to do that. Now, without a plan, you make emotional decisions. You're not even aligned with your purpose when you do this. You're not going to grow. Your growth is going to be, you're going to go backwards. It's going to be like retroverting, react. And you're going to shift I would say your promotions. You're going to shift those things. You're going to shift those all the time. And you're not going to be, you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to be, you're going to be like you're in sand trying to walk. Or, when you're at the beach trying to walk in the sand, you're going to be just like that. It's going to be very hard for you to accomplish anything. So with that being said, I advise you to clear, get very clear on your business. And the mistakes are right here in this when you're making a business. When you're making a business plan and when you're allowing your business to grow, it's right here. Now, I'm gonna tell you some things that I feel like, I'm gonna give you some advice on this. I feel like should help you navigate through this maze of opportunity out here for you. I'm gonna tell you what you need to do. You need to get clear on the market, your audience. What specific people are you going to serve? You need to know everything about them. You need to know a whole lot and position yourself, your business, position it that way they'll know you, they'll know who you are. They will know exactly who you are and what you stand for and what you're doing out here. That's the first order of business when you're writing that plan, because you should, I'm sure your mission and your vision and things like that. That's we're talking about the meat and potatoes of it. So those things are just not, that's a per se a no-brainer really to get, have, or where you're going with this business, what you want to do, how you're going to grow it. But all of this other stuff that I'm speaking of right here this morning is going to piggyback just off of that. Now, the biggie. Now, sometimes you'll be afraid of this. I know a lot of you may be afraid to kind of go here sometime. You'll be saying, you don't want to price your products and your services like they properly should be, because they wouldn't mind taking your services if you underprice yourself. So you must not do that. In case in point of, a potential client that I had, had been interested in working with, where they reached out to me and I had to detail them what it's going to cost me, the time wise, to do these things. Because, just let's take for instance, everybody, we can use these fancy words, these jargons. We can use all these little sexy phrases of way of saying something, and you don't know the detail of behind it. And some people like the words, they are a master at word salad. And that's all it is word salad. But what in the world? Tell me what goes behind that? And that's when you have to price your products and services. Because there's a when you're coming up with your pricing for your products and your services, you need to count the cost, or what it's gonna cost you time wise, what you're gonna make an hour if you're doing consulting and something like that. And then also, if you have a product, how much does it cost for you to make that product? And so how much if you have a service, in a sense, how much is going to, how much you want to make an hour if you're doing it yourself, and things, if you have to hire any other people to help you do it. And then if you need any software, there's so many other things that goes with just pricing, till you underprice yourself, and then you're frustrated because you feel like, you're not, you've set yourself up for failure. But you're not going to grow if you don't come up with a serious plan, and you have to structure it in a way that it's going to benefit everybody. And so don't underprice yourself. And I know we love to say, I know my worth. Well, do you really know your worth? Because if you wrote everything down and you details, you itemize that list, you will know your worth of what you're doing. Now they can go and get this. If they feel like they can go somewhere else and get the service, then by all means let them go. But you would not have put your business in jeopardy of making a profit, and even giving it in exchange great service, and then at the end you frustrated. So you don't want that. So that's another mistake. Okay, so let's not do that. Okay, now, how you're going to deliver all of this greatness in your business? What way are you going to frame it? What is going to be your client's journey? How are you going to build systems, and how are you going to have them in an even flow? How are you going to document them? Like, what kind of, now, if you look at most businesses now, most of them do have a component of online. They have an app, and then they always have other ways of you doing business with them. Just look at the big companies out here. I'm not just saying this for, just talking about something that you must do and they haven't done. They had to do the same thing I'm talking about, but they're doing it now. It is doing it on a different scale because they have a mass of people to serve. And so don't get out here in business and make these mistakes of not taking the time to plan your work and work your plan. You are not going to be successful in business. And I try to be so positive about a lot of things in it, but I'm telling you, some of you just, y'all think it's just y'all think y'all don't have to work. You got to do that work. You got to do that work. And let's also, next mistake, don't make this mistake about not understanding that profit. How exactly will your profit plan look? And paying attention to what's eating the cost of you doing business. Don't be wasteful in business. What I mean, if you service, if it's going to be you out here just doing the business, don't waste your time. Get organized. You almost got to do a lot of personal development here, even before. I know this, you're talking about profits and you're talking about personal development. Those are two of the same things, because your business is only going to go as far as you are comfortable in and you are in your personal development. If your personal development is good, I do believe, yes. So, at any rate, that is very important. Very important. And now, one more thing I do want to talk about. This is the last thing for this segment of this conversation about the mistakes about business planning. Do not forget to think about the long term of your business. Not saying you don't want to be in business for 12 months because you didn't do some of those things I said back there. No, you don't. You want to continue to grow that business and not thinking that, oh, okay, I'm going to try this. And if it don't work, oh, well. Don't ever let me hear you say that, because you setting yourself up for failure, even if you think that way. But you're not going to be that way. You're not going to even think that way. You're really not going to think that way, okay? Then you may have to hire some people. That's the growth roadmap. You may have to hire. You may start off, you may not have to hire anybody. And you need to know just how much this hiring is. AI can't do it all for you. I'm sorry, AI. And I'm not sorry. But you need a team to help you get there. And so you got to put that in your business planning too. You got to put that in your business planning. So, only thing a business nowadays really think about is just marketing. It's more to it than that. It's an addition of everything I just spoke to you. And if you didn't hear me, if you're on live with me, if you didn't hear it, go back and listen to the whole entire thing, because it is very important for the growth of your business to do all of these things I just mentioned to you, and they will help you grow. Okay, now I'm going to leave you with these things. Growth is not an accident. Sorry to tell you. You got to plan for growth. It's not going to just pop up and say, boop, ooh, my business growing. I just start my business and I'm out here hustling and juggling, and I have not sat down daily and looked at my numbers, my analytics on whatever platform I'm on Daily, I haven't done that. Daily, I'm not listening and looking to see how the market is out here in the world, whether this industry I'm in, is it in trouble, the stock market, is it going down, is anybody closing or anybody laying off, is any of these companies laying off that is in my industry, what is going on? You have to stay abreast of that. Okay. And am I having some problems with my revenue, with my money, with the cash flow coming into my business? Because if so, I got to do something. And this will help you stay in business too. And find out your weak spots. Know your weak spots. Know your weak points. Know what's going down, what's not doing. Here again, back to the analytics. Okay? And that's going to be all the piece that I want to talk about with you today on the mistakes you should never make in business. Okay? And I am Biz Strategist Sandy. If you need any business development, any grant writing, any grant assistance, you getting government contracts, you need getting business plan writing, or getting your business growing, I'm here. That's my specialty. Yes, all things business, and I work with my clients on different phases of their business. Okay, and then those that are a little bit advanced and want to go up into other things, I partner with companies and individual that can help you get to those levels as well. So we're in this thing together, but I do want you to win out here, okay? I want you to win, and I want you to know these mistakes that I just don't want you to make. And they may sound like, okay, that's a boring conversation. Yeah, it may be a boring conversation, but it's a necessary conversation if you're going to be an entrepreneur and if you're going to be in business. Yes, you definitely have to do everything I just mentioned. Okay? All right. Well, I am so glad that you were here today, and thanks so much. So if you stayed to the end, thank you so much for being here. And then also, if you can go to, wherever you can find some information. If you go to the link, my links, and see what's available for you. I have a free plan, a business plan template that's going to be specific for you. And you got the questions that's asked on it is very specific. So it's not generic. It's going to be catered to your business. And then you can get more personal and niche down, like we discussed earlier. Okay. Alrighty. Have a beautiful day, rest of your morning rather. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.